Good morning. My name is Arthur Butler. I'm Intern 012 on the capacity of the school program. My interests are developing technologies such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and virtual reality. I love complex issues and problems that I can analyze from afar and then step in and attack from multiple directions. Both require thinking multiple steps ahead, planning, reanalysis, methodically breaking down an issue. This reflects in my love for chess and other strategy games such as Civilizations, Warhammer 40k, and XCOM. These require planning and logical reasoning to progress through levels and defeat opponents. Growing up, I was the only child and grew up mostly alone. Naturally, I filled this void with hobbies and extracurricular activities. Never being good at sports forced me to turn my view to more academic, intellectual interests, the main one being computers. My interests in computers started from an early age, using the computers after school to improve my typing and dismantling the desktop computer we had at home to learn the different hardware components and what all the buses and SATA connectors connected to. This actually led me to choose IT when the opportunity arose. I'm compassionate and will always lend assistance where required. Over the years, I've become quite acquainted with working in a team and navigating the team dynamic in a positive, constructive way, and have definitely turned it into a strength. I do not crack under pressure easily and am often commended on my perseverance and no-quit attitude. I am very self-motivated and do not require much outside praise to excel. I take criticism on the chin and focus on its constructive qualities rather than its destructive ones, choosing to rather let it build me up and strengthen me than tear me down. I'm also bilingual of tweetalig. Ek kan Afrikaans en Engels praat. And I believe that will help me with clientele and to relate to my fellow teammates and the other staff I work with. I'm also very enthusiastic, often finding myself eager to complete tasks or start them, especially when they are difficult or challenging to me. I suppose my weaknesses are that I occasionally put too much thought into a specific problem, but having to confront with more and more complex problems has alleviated this issue. Also, I tend to take the long, methodical routes on some problems instead of the easier way, which seems to be a byproduct of my overthinking. But now that I have been training with more complex puzzles, I seem to be gravitating more to quicker, more logical solutions. Another thing is that I'm quite introverted and quiet, and it usually takes me more time to adjust to new people. I could also use more experience being a team leader, as often find myself in a team dynamic where I choose to play a more subservient role as a teammate rather than a team leader. I do better when there's a specific role that I play in the team and that I can do well or excel at. I often don't do well when the other team members can't, or the entire team dynamic can't on how I perform in my role. As I find that a lot of pressure on me, so I do better when my part of the team dynamic isn't that big, but it is something that I'm working on and will get better at in the future. I often find myself having problems with ambiguous information, and I prefer tasks be laid straightforward out to me, and I find it hard sometimes to deliberate tasks, and I spend much of my time on that when tasks are ambiguous. But as I have grown more self-sufficient, I find that I can navigate these tasks better. However, this is a problem of mine. I see myself as a back-end Python developer or software engineer, using logic and math to design software that helps people and makes people's lives more ergonomic and easier. I see myself working as a hard, trusted, and integral member of a development team, hopefully working on projects that help local communities and businesses break into the fourth industrial revolution. Of course, I want the salary to be good as well. And I want stability in my job. I don't want a job that only works on one project and then the team is disbanded. I want to work on multiple projects under a private contractor. I suppose it's the fact that with math and logic, you can help make everyday life easier and make changes in your world that will increase in value the more computer reliant the world becomes. It's exciting what you can create once you have a grasp of coding and computer science. From interactive experiences such as video games to databases to statistics and raw data processes and calculators to even things like artificial intelligence. It's fascinating how endless the possibilities are. People with these skills in their pockets can literally change the world as we know it, especially as data and information becomes a valuable resource. I also always had a fascination of how things are made and how they work internally. Working in IT allows me to dismantle software and hardware and see the gears that make the entire system tick. Not only that, but to have a fundamental understanding of these base concepts that the everyday consumer does not have the privilege of seeing and understanding. You have reached the end of the video. Thanks for taking the time for listening to me today, and good day.